Hello, my name is Jakil Yates, and this is my final presentation. The research project I chose was on higher education in the COVID era, mainly because I work in the ICU during COVID, and I'm taking higher education classes during this pandemic. I felt this piqued my interest the most and would benefit my career as well as this assignment. It was a win-win. This research topic has taken me down many avenues, but what stood out the most is how COVID has increased the use of digital devices. During the COVID pandemic, shutdowns have forced schools to go remote for the unforeseeable future. These shutdowns were placed to slow or stop the spread of COVID-19. I have learned from my research that during this pandemic, the need for digital devices has ballooned. This is directly connected to lockdowns and the need for keeping the economy somewhat normal. Schools have moved to remote, jobs have shifted to Zoom meetings. Meanwhile, we're already living in a digitized world. Online classes have been the staple of higher education for the past decade. However, with lockdowns and home confinement, the issue has been the lack of physical activity. With the spike in digital device usage and the decrease in physical activity, the risk for long-term health effects have come into question. Sedentary living has increased, and with shutdowns and the fear of going into public places, people have picked up unhealthy eating habits. So, in combination with increased digital device usage, decreased physical activity, and unhealthy eating habits, the associated health risks are myopia and cardiovascular disease. One of the main topics I used was how shutdowns related to COVID-19 has caused a boom in digital device usage. An article I used was Digital Screen Time During the COVID-19 Pandemic, Risk for a Further Myopia Boom. It goes into detail about how heavily dependent we are on digital devices. It goes into specifics of the types of digital devices and technologies we use in our everyday lives. Another topic I focused on was how lockdowns and self-quarantining have increased sedentary lifestyles, increasing the risks of long-term health effects. The article I used for this was Physical Activity and Sedentary Lifestyle in University Students, Changes During Confinement During the COVID-19 Pandemic. It goes into observed negative effects of physical activity, as well as a surge in unhealthy food consumption. It gives an age range of students mostly affected by home confinement, as well as giving average sitting time of students. Countering arguments show that students spent more time doing physical activity and only spent more time sitting when their usual environment was limited. However, with the rise in sitting time, there was an increase in both total time spent doing physical activity and the number of days participants were active. The biggest takeaway was the addition of unhealthy diet. Thank you.